Here with the latest updates and a bit more this this session from We Share Abundance. We Share Abundance is a cloud nation. We're on a mission to banish poverty, and we have lots of ways of doing it. And one of our important ways of doing it is through the evolution of our progressive passive income pools. And today I'll be breaking away from what we normally do, and I'll be going through a little presentation on how that works and why and what it's designed to do, and answering a few questions that have cropped up about it. But we will still be streaming live, hopefully, on YouTube, Twitch, and in our Facebook group, We Share Abundance Publicly. And we are still the United States of the world, and we do accept people from every corner of the globe, every continent, country, every color, class, creed, gender, background, financial status, educational level, and we don't pigeonhole people into those different categories. We just see everybody as human beings, and we recognize that every human being is unique, and so has something unique to offer our community, and is therefore of equal value to every other member of our community. I'll be getting into how you can join in a moment when we go through a few more items. We will be getting started with a short prayer that helps us get on the path to true happiness in life. It's really what everybody seeks, is just to be happy. And most people don't really know how to find happiness. They think if they had the new car or the more vacations or the bigger home, or they lived in this country or that country or whatever, they'd be happy. But you can't buy happiness. And so our prayer is about that. It's about being of loving service to others. The great thing about that is not only does it bring you happiness, but automatically everything that you want and need in life flows to you. I see we have people in the chat already from Facebook, and I'm going to be heading over there right now to see what's going on. So I'm heading over to Facebook. I'm going to make sure my speakers are off so that we don't get feedback. And I'm going to look for the group We Share Abundance Publicly. And then I'll be looking for the 27th, I think. Yeah, 27th of July. And so far, so good. And if I click to get the comments up, and we have. And we've got Deborah in from Southern Alabama, USA. Richard from Devon, UK. Norman from Doncaster, UK. Jedediah from, I'm not sure where he's from. Nigeria is a guess, but I don't know. I've been in We Share Abundance since 2018. We Share Abundance didn't start till 2020, Jedediah. Okay. We've got Nadia in saying hi, everyone. Okay. We are going to get started right away because there is a lot to get through today. I want to answer any questions that crop up so that everybody understands what we're doing, where we're going, how we're going to get there, and why we're on this path. Okay, so here's our little prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we are so happy and grateful for you, and we ask that you bless the We Share Abundance community, that it may fill each member's heart with unconditional love, and that through that love, each member may find the joy of service, and through service, bless each member, that they may attract into their life true happiness and everything they want and need. Amen. Right, we have a little affirmation we do as well, which is to help us main that non-separatist ideology we have, where we just see everybody as part of one big family of humanity, regardless of age, height, weight, color, class, whatever, you know. And that goes like this. We're so happy and grateful to be citizens of the United States of the world with God and truth as our leaders. Heavenly Father, may thy kingdom of peace come into our world as it is in heaven, and free us all from divisive inharmony, that we may become perfect citizens in body, mind, and soul of thy world. Hey, we've got Kingsley in from Manchester and Derek from West Palm Beach, Florida, I believe. Checking in from West, yeah. Okay. And right, we are still clearing up a few things on the multiply Weezer site development wise, and it's delaying a little bit some of the things that we want to get done. Um, but we'll get there. But it is important because even though Multiply Weezer is pretty much dormant at the moment, it is a very strong advertising platform, and there are one or two things that we need to do to make sure that it stays running until we can get there and really reactivate it by improving the value of the Weezer tokens. But as soon as we can get that cleared up, um, it might be next week now, but hopefully we will get the status of your withdrawal qualification appearing on the dashboard. It might be done before weekend, but it might be next week. Um, we're also going to add a simpler payment option into the dashboard for people because people are getting confused, but I hope I'm going to clarify that a little bit in the presentation today. And we'll be putting in a bonus to encourage new members to get started in the best way possible. We need some information in admin that isn't there currently about qualification for withdrawals, so that if we do get queries, we'll have the power to answer them. And of course, we've still got to make sure that we get the transfer of the tokens from Waves Exchange into the Binance Smart Chain completed in the best possible way. We also want to include a way that old members who have been removed from the database, the active database, can automatically come back and find their account and reinstate it without it needing to go through support and this sort of thing. They'll have to provide some information to do that, and that will enable them to recover their account. Because there are some people that have been removed because they've not logged in for a couple of months. They've got huge amounts of cash in their portfolio, and so it would be a shame for them to lose that. Let me see. That pretty much covers the updates on development. I can answer questions on anything concerning WeShare Abundance or Multiply Weether. But I'm hoping that the presentation will cover a lot of things that you may be thinking about or not sure about. Let's see, who else have we got? We had Derek. We've got Raymond in from Papua New Guinea. Hi there. We've got Rose from Nigeria. What will happen to Weezer token? I'll cover that in the presentation, and then if you still got questions, I'll answer them at the end. Okay. So I think what we need to do is get straight into the presentation. I think hopefully I'll be able to answer a lot of your questions from that. Some of the questions that people have submitted to us. Um, Questions like, here we go, where are we? If we can find them. Yeah. The Wheat Abundance migration token to the BSC network. I've covered it on various occasions, but I'll cover it again. That also asked about whether it'll be listed on Binance. It won't be particularly listed anywhere, but I'll cover that in more detail as well. The Visa token that was first created, and this is something that Rosemary John has asked about. We've got Bozina in as well, I see, from Edinburgh up in Scotland. And something else I've covered in detail in the past, I'll go over again, which is about loans and nest eggs and things like that. And then I had some comments that were made in the Telegram group, even though it's not about We Share Abundance, the Telegram group, and there were comments in there about some things which I'll cover in a moment. And as I say, hopefully we'll get your questions answered. But if they're not answered, you can always whack them into the comments and we'll address them. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to a screen share of a spreadsheet. So bear with me when I do that. It takes just a series of clicks to get there and get it all sorted out. We're almost there. Almost there. I could break into song then, I suppose. Okay, this is the spreadsheet I'm going to be talking about. Let me get back to Facebook and make sure that it's come up. Yes, it has. Okay, now you may or may not be able to see it clearly, but I will try and explain what it's about. First of all, we're looking over at this section here, and this is historical information. We started with We Share Abundance in April of 2020. I think we actually at the end of March, but effectively we launched the Visa token at $1 in April 2020. And through the formulas that we have built in, as we grew in numbers, the value of the token increased to its height in January 2021, which was 9 months, to $312.54. And this was a market value, and this is what people were buying it at, and this is what people were selling it for. Shortly after that, it crashed, and there are lots of reasons for that that I'm not going to go into in great detail, but it was because what we were doing was not sustainable. We could have maintained it for a little while longer, doing what we were doing, but it wasn't sustainable. It would have meant that we had to give up on what we were all about, and that is our mission to help manage poverty on a global scale. It got so bad, and I made some critical mistakes in allowing far too many tokens to be distributed, and it got so bad that the token is now on the market. There are millions of them there with no potential buyers or very, very few. And the token, I think, is currently trading at something like a fifth or a quarter of a cent each, which is a big drop from $312. But we've learned from those mistakes, and we have now a program called the Progressive Passive Income Pools, which is going to balance the demand and the supply of the tokens so that as they increase in price, as we get more members in, which will happen, we'll be able to maintain that growth and stabilize it. It will be sustainable, it will be compliant, it will be legal, it will be everything that it should be. And you will see that the liquidity and the value of the tokens will increase. Now, that increase that we had in that period, I don't think we're going to see it in as big an increase in that, because it was in 9 months 31,254%, which is quite staggering. If you take a simple average of that, just dividing it by 9, that was 3,473% per month. But it isn't really as simple as that, because the compounding factor comes into it. And if you look at it from a compounding point of view, it was actually 89% per month, compounded over the 9 months, which gets you to the same place. Compounding is very, very powerful. Now, I've got a spreadsheet on the left, which you're probably looking at, which I've said not to bother with at the moment. And because to build compounding into that spreadsheet would have been a really lengthy procedure, a difficult procedure to do, and not really worth it for what I want to talk about, I've gone with a simple interest calculation for growth in that spreadsheet. So when I talk about it, I'm going to be talking about a simple interest, which is like this, and I'm only going to be talking about a tiny fraction of the growth that we envisaged here. On the simple interest basis, it was 3,473%. I'm going to be using 8%. We can use different ones. I can change them, and you can see the different results. But 8% is actually a little less than a tenth of the compounding figure, but we're not showing it as a compounded effect in the figures that I'm going to show you. So while we're looking at 8% to show the figures there, it would be realistic to think that the same figures would be achieved with something a little over half that, maybe 5.5%, 6% would give the same results. Okay, so this figure for growth is based on past experience of what has happened, but we're taking it right down to a very low level of expectation. And I want you to understand that this is what we've done. We want to get it down to a really low level of expectation, and then hopefully that will explain everything a little bit clearer. Let me get back and have a look at how we're doing. I'm just wondering, I finished with this section now. If I make all this bigger, it might help people, and then we can talk about what's going on over here. So I think that would be a good move. If I can get back to where I was in the spreadsheet. Here we go. Yeah. So I'm going to increase the size of this. If we make it all, how about that? Let's have a look at what that looks like on your screen now. Yeah, I think that's a lot clearer for you. It won't show as many columns, but you'll be able to see it a lot better. Okay, so if I go back there now, I can tell you what this is about. I'm going to have to just reformat the column size so that we can see what's going on. Okay, down at the left, we've got years. Okay, year 1, year 2, year 3, and we go down for 20 years. And we've got the monthly withdrawals in those years. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. And then we calculate that as an annual withdrawal throughout the year. And then we add it up over the years. And we take the fund value then here and how that decreases with the withdrawals, but increases with the minimum of $600 a month that would be going into your fund automatically anyway. Why 600? Sorry, $600 a year, not a month, going into your account anyway. That is based on the $50 that you get as an active elite member. You automatically get an absolute minimum of $50 every month going into your wallet, and 50 times 12 is $600. So it's $600 goes in here. Let me just have a look at. Here we go. It's E4. It's the previous month less what we paid out, which is 120 plus 600. Okay, so it's a very simple calculation, and that ignores all the potential growth and this sort of thing. And this next column takes into account growth at just 8% per month on a simple interest basis, not compounded. Okay. So, first of all, we had a question from, well, it wasn't a question, it was a comment from a member who said, why do existing loyal members have to wait 12 months? I mean, it's ridiculous. I've been a loyal member for 3 years, and I paid $100 3 years ago, and I've now got, I can't remember whether he said 2,000 or 20,000 in my account. It's probably likely to be 20,000, but I've got a feeling it was shown as 2,000, but I deleted the comment, so I can't check that. But it was either 2,000 or 20. I've now got, let's say it was 20,000, $20,000 in my wallet, and at $10 a month, it will take me more than a lifetime to get all my money out. Okay? And I can understand where he's coming from, but he's got the wrong end of the stick, and I'll explain why. First of all, this plan is not designed to get all your money out. It's designed to go on paying for generations. Generations, okay? Secondly, for $100 in 3 years to have achieved, whether it's as little as 2,000 or as much as 20,000, that's a huge return on your deposit. I stress deposit because it's not an investment. We do not do investments. We don't take your money and invest it somewhere for you. We take your money, and this applies to the staking plans that we have as well. We take your money, and we've calculated that we can pay out of what we make as a community, as a nation, from multiple income streams, which include lots of different things, but also our own trading as a nation in the Forex market and commodities markets, so that there are lots of things go into it. And we've calculated that for a certain figure that you deposit, we can pay you a certain return on that. Okay, so it's not us taking your money and investing it and paying you an investment fee. However, what we are paying out is subject to us hitting minimum targets that we get. So while we talk about these figures, they are not guaranteed, but they are sufficiently low, we hope, that we will never fall below them. Okay, so if we ever do, we do. Hopefully, we'll have reserves built up in the months that are good that would avoid us having to drop below anyway. But it is a possibility because it is dependent on the wealth that we generate as a community, as a nation, from everything that we have that we're involved in. Okay, I can see we've got a couple more people in. Let me have a look. Um, Jedediah says, I'm an elite member. What does it take for me to be able to make a withdrawal? I'll cover that. We've got Andrew in from New Zealand. Good morning. We've got Akpomade in from Nigeria, and Leonard's in also from Nigeria, I believe. Yes, he is. Okay. So getting back to that question, let me get back to my spreadsheet so I can go through things. It is not designed for you to empty the bucket. It's designed for you to be able to withdraw from that bucket indefinitely. There are three options for you to qualify for withdrawals. Everybody that qualifies for withdrawals must first be an active elite member. And I know that most of the people on this call will be. Some of you won't have reached that level yet, but it's not hard to do. To be active, all you've got to do is log in at least half the available days in a month. And to be an elite member, you've got to have deposited in all 6 pools, which is a $100 deposit. That $100 deposit lasts for 30 days. 30 days that you log in. So if you only log in once a month, it'll last for 30 months. But if you log in every day, it'll last for a month in a 30-day month and a little bit less in a 31-day month. It lasts for 30 days that you log in. That $100, we will always give you at least $150 back at the end of the month. So you can put $100 in for the next month and have $50 profit building into your fund value. Okay, this is your fund value. I'm looking at this as the guy that asked about his 20,000. He said it'd take me a lifetime to get 20,000 out. I'm not sure whether it was 2,000 or 20,000, but I've taken this example here as 20,000, and I want to show you because I know a lot of you have had the benefit of building that balance up through those automatic payments we give you every time you log in, also from the free raffle. Also, some of you have earned commissions in the past. There are lots of things and lots of ways that have happened. Some of you have had additional gifts for special services and things like this. So I know that many of you have thousands of dollars, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, some people, and I believe we even have some members that have over $1 million in their fund. Okay, So I'm taking 20,000 because I think that was what the gentleman that said, why do we have to wait 12 months? Why can't we just be given our money now? The reason is because we had that crash in the past, because we allowed people to withdraw their tokens, and there was just not the demand for the tokens. So there are millions of tokens out there on the market for a fraction of 1 cent. Is that what you really want? No. You want to be able to sell your tokens for what they are really valued at, which is around $300 currently. I think they're trading at about $280 on the market value. Our allocation value is a bit more than that. I can't remember what it is. I think it's nearer $300. And that is the value that we allow you to repurchase at, because it's what we actually pay you out. It's the calculation that is done based on the number of members we have and all the benefits that are paid out. It's a bit of a complex formula. Don't worry about it. It works. It's what pushed the original token from a dollar to $312 in 9 months. And as we start this passive program now, withdrawals from the progressive passive income plan, and it's called progressive because your withdrawals progressively get larger every year. Why can't we just allow people to do it like that? Because we suffer the same crash that we had there. The only way we can do it is by generating funds through what we have going on and doing that for every member. And what we've had to do is you won't see this anywhere, but we've had to do calculation, and we've had to put on one side a large amount of money. I'm not going to tell you how much it is, but a large amount of money that we can grow over 12 months to get you to the point where you don't have to put any additional cash in to start withdrawing. So if you're an Active Elite member, all you've got to do is stay an Active Elite member for 12 consecutive months, and then you will automatically qualify for withdrawals. That's the first way that you can do it. You have to wait 12 months because we have to build that income to allow us to make sure that when you want to sell your tokens, there will be sufficient cash to buy them from you ourselves if there isn't the demand from outside of our community. This will mean that whenever you go out there and you sell your token, you'll be able to sell it quickly, and you'll be able to sell it for the value that it is worth, whether it's $300, $500, $1,000, $20,000, whatever it is, you will be able to get that value for your token and get it quickly. This is called liquidity pools. It's not a new idea. It's not my idea. It's something that's been going on long before the blockchain. There have been liquidity pools with fiat currencies. So it's not new. It's just something that we need to implement, but we need to have the cash. Now, we don't hold cash as a community. We're not for profit. We don't hoard it. Everything that we've had in has gone out in member benefits one way or another. At the beginning, in those 9 months when we started, we took in well over $4 million, and we paid out well over $4 million in payments to the members. But it wasn't evenly distributed. It wasn't a good way of doing it. It wasn't sustainable. So there was a lot wrong with what we were doing. A lot of people made a lot of money quickly. They were happy, but the majority of people didn't. And A lot of those people are still with us, and a lot of those people are people that have been removed from the database because they've not logged in regularly. And those are the people that we are now going to give the opportunity to get back in and carry on from where they were when they dropped out. I think that's a fair way of doing it. Okay. So that is why you have to wait 12 months. We have to build that liquidity for you individually before we can say, okay, you can have withdrawal started. To get to that point, we need to build up your liquidity pool, your personal liquidity pool, to a little bit over $100. So the second way you can qualify, and you can qualify from today, or from yesterday, or from the 24th, actually, when we started the qualification to run from, by putting in $100. And we'll put in the little bit extra to take it over that 100 and something dollars that we need to have sufficient to use our income and compound that income to make sure that we can always pay you. And it's not guaranteed, as I said, because it depends on our maintaining income at a certain minimum level. And we set that level lower than anything we've ever achieved. So it's a very safe level. We've never dropped down that low, but it's possible we could. So I want to make that clear, but it's unlikely. I want to make that clear because we've set it at a level below the worst we've ever done in the past. So you put in $100. We don't have to wait that 12 months to compound it up to that 100 odd dollars. We can give you the extra that we would have been putting into your compounding anyway and get you started on withdrawals straight away. So that is the second way you can pay that $100 yourself. When you pay that $100, it will also qualify your sponsor, as long as he's an active elite member, he or she. I'm using he's because in English we talk about he, I, him, and it covers the whole thing. So whether you think it's politically correct or not, I don't care. Okay, it is the way the English language was designed. So your sponsor, as long as he is qualified as an active elite member, you pay your $100. It will also qualify him to have withdrawals at the same time that your withdrawals start. So when would your withdrawal start if you paid today? Today is the 27th of July. You have to complete a full calendar month to get a withdrawal. This is to do with calculations. So you pay today $100. Your completed full calendar month will be at the end of August, and we'll pay you. And I'm still not sure of the date. I meant to check with Deviani before she left, and I didn't. But I think it's the second. If it's not the second, it's the third, and that will be automatic. It will be automatically paid. Your withdrawal will automatically go to you on the second or third of September. Okay, so you pay today. Your first withdrawal will be second or third of September, and your next one will be the second or third of October, and it'll be the second or third, whichever it is, of every month after that. And it will be initially $10 per month. Okay, so that's what we've got here. This is your monthly withdrawal, year one, your first 12 months, will be at $10. Because you can be qualified through your referrals, possibly you can refer two people and they both qualify, they both decide they want to get their withdrawals started right away. And so you would have two positions. So your withdrawals wouldn't be $10, they would start out at $20, but only one will increase progressively. The progressive side of your plan will just add $10 to your total withdrawals every month at the end of every year. So it doesn't matter whether you've referred 50 people and you're getting $500 withdrawals, or whether you've referred one and you're getting $10 a month withdrawals, it'll only be a $10 increase in year two. Okay? I hope that part is clear. You people that have been in for a long time have a massive advantage because you have been able to build up your fund to huge amounts for a tiny deposit, $100, and you've been able to build your fund to huge amounts. In that fund, there will also be amounts from nest egg purchases that a lot of people have made, which you bought tokens at really low cost and got high value for them. Sometimes 10 times the value. I'm very thankful to you people for doing that. That helped us maintain our organization while we were struggling through things. Those nest egg that are in your wallet there will help you grow as we grow. What we will be doing, and this is not connected to the passive progressive income pools, this that I'm going to be showing you on this spreadsheet is purely from progressive passive income pools. It's not connected to anything else. It's not connected to any loans you made. It's not connected to any nest eggs that you purchase. Out of surplus profits that we make, I told you this plan is calculated on us generating income that we use to maintain things and to build things up and also member benefits one way or another. But any surplus that we encounter having had sufficient to maintain these levels that we have for payments to our members in this particular part of our plan will then be available for repayment of loans. And if you choose to withdraw your nest eggs, you'll be able to do that as well. And it'll be phased. First of all, the loans that were made directly will be repaid with the interest that is due to those people. And then the nest eggs will be allowed to be withdrawn chronologically as we accumulate funds outside of the umbrella of the passive progressive income pools plan. So totally separate, but that will be made available. I can't tell you when. It's as and when we get sufficient funds in, and it will be in that order. First of all, the loans. Secondly, the nest eggs, and the nest eggs in chronological order. So if you bought a nest egg in 2020, you'll be allowed to withdraw that before somebody that bought a nest egg in 2021 or 2022, and so on. Okay, I hope that's clarified that part of things. I'll get to questions if you need further clarification in a moment. But let me go through this. So we're looking here at just the $10. How have you qualified for it? You've either waited 12 months, you've either put in $100 yourself, or you've referred somebody that has put in $100. That $100 cannot come from your fund wallet. It must come from anything other than that. It must come from crypto, card payment, or your available cash wallet. Okay? It cannot come from your fund wallet that we have here. So looking at that gentleman that said, it's going to take me a lifetime at $10 to get get my 20,000 out. Getting back to that, first of all, it is not our intention to empty your wallet. It's our intention to build something that will pay you indefinitely. Not just you, but your children, their children, and so on. We're building generational wealth here. So your first year, it's $10 a month. That's $120 in a year, 10 times 12. Simple math. So at the end of your first year, you've withdrawn 120. You started with 20,000. So your balance then would be 20,000 plus 600 as a minimum. That's if you didn't win any lottery prizes or get anything else or Power of One bonuses or whatever. Just basically from logging in every day, you would have 20,600. That's 120, 20,480. Okay, so this is very simple. There's no growth in the value of the tokens shown in this first example. I'm going to ignore this column for now, okay? So year two, you get a $10 increase. So you're now drawn 240 that year, and your balance will change down here. It's still going up because you're putting more in just for logging in every day, ignoring raffle winnings, ignoring Power of One or anything else that you might get. It's still increasing, but it will get to the stage where it doesn't. But first of all, let's just show you how your withdrawals go, because this guy said it would take me more than a lifetime to get out my 20,000. And of course, it could have been 2,000, I don't remember. If it was 2,000, it would take him 6 years to be in profit if it was only 2,000. He'd have withdrawn $2,500 in 6 years' time. 7 years if he has to wait 12 months. Okay? So I don't know what his life expectancy is. I don't know how old he is now, how long he expects to live. But if it was only 2,000 in a maximum of 7 years without putting his hand in his pocket, he would have withdrawn over $2,000. Okay, going on further, you can see each year the monthly withdrawals increases, and by year 20 it's up to $200 a month, $2,400 a year. And if he had 20,000 when he started, which I think is likely, he would actually have withdrawn 20,000 in year 18, year 19 if he waited a year. So once again, I don't know how old the guy is, but in 19 years, he would have cleaned out his 20,000 almost, but he wouldn't have done because he would still have 11,000 in. But you can see it's starting to go down. We got to this point here in 10 years where he's back where he started. And then, because he's drawing more, and we're still only accounting for just 600, that minimum that would go in just for logging in every day, it's gradually going down, and it would get to the stage where eventually you wouldn't have any funds left. Okay? And that isn't what we intend, and that isn't what we planned for. Going back over here, you remember I said we were going to take a very simple and small level, and it's just 8%, and that's not compounded. Okay. What we achieved in the past was 89% per month compounded, 3,473% per month as simple interest. We're going to take here now just 8%. And I can't move this for some reason. It's not letting me move now. Let's try if I can do it this way. Yeah, that's got me back there. Okay. So with an 8% increase per month, instead of 39% or 3,400%, a very modest increase, which we are pretty certain to start showing fairly soon, this would happen. Instead of that being 20,480 in year 2, it would be 39,680. Okay, a huge difference. This isn't you having more tokens in your fund. This is the fact that the value of the token is going up by 8% per month. So, for example, if it started out at 300 in month 1, it goes up to $324 by the end of month 1. It's increased in value. If you were back in at the beginning, you know that those increases were much, much bigger than that. We've taken a very small sum, but this is the effect that it would have. You can see that at just 8%, the fund you have, the value of the fund, not the amount of tokens in the fund, the amount of tokens in your fund may or may not increase, but the value of those tokens in your fund is going to increase. 8%, I believe, is very modest. But you can see if we get down to year 20, you would now have $235,000 in your fund. It's pretty much going up. It's more or less breaking even at this point. So eventually, if it just stayed at 8%, you would get into the same situation where it would gradually tail off. But I believe that we will achieve much, much more than 8%. I'm not going to put in silly figures now because it's just hype, but I believe that we will attain much, much more than 8% per month growth as we grow, because we're going to grow from, we've got a little over 4,000 active elite members at the moment that are with us. I'll give you the exact number in a moment. That is going to grow very, very quickly. We started out with a few hundred back here, and we grew to over 250,000 in that 9 months time. We're starting out now with over 4,000, and we're going to grow, to millions, certainly in 20 years' time. I believe we're going to grow to millions in less than 12 months' time. I believe that. I can't promise it. It's not a prediction. It's based on our growth that we had in the past, and it's based on the fact that I believe that what we're doing is divine will, and we're here to help millions of people, not just a handful. So what have we got? We've got something here. If you're new, you come in, you put $100 in, and you're going to get $10 a month. You put $100 into your bank account, get the highest rate possible that you can, and ask your bank manager if you can withdraw $10 a month from it without your balance ever decreasing. In fact, your balance increasing over the 12-month period, and he'll laugh you out of the bank. Okay? If you started some time back and you put $100 in and you put another $100 in now, that would be $200 that you'd put in. Put $200 into your bank account and ask your bank manager to pay you interest of $10 a month. It's not going to happen, is it? You know that. $10 a month is an amazing return on $200, especially when it's not the only return. You're going to be getting more and more and more going in. Your balance is going to keep growing. Your fund value is going to keep growing. And especially when we get here and we put in a little bit of growth. 8%, I believe it is tiny. Obviously, if you're pulling out more than this, if you have introduced a few people and you're pulling out, say, $30 a month because you've introduced 2 people and you've put $100 in yourself, that should be, that formula is wrong. I'm not going to change that now. But it would change these figures dramatically, and you would get into a position where you needed more money to pay out. It's not commission that you're getting, it's an increased withdrawal. If you don't have the funds available, we can't pay them to you. I believe you will always have the funds available. I believe we're going to grow. I believe we're going to grow at a rate beyond this prediction. And I believe that you will all get to the point where you will have millions of dollars in your fund value, enough to pay withdrawals for generations to come that keep on increasing. Okay? They're going to go well above inflation rates. They're going to go and grow to bring increased wealth. People that come in and join now have the opportunity from the $5 that we give them for completing their profile and their KYC verification to join pools 1 and 2. If they get no Power of One bonus and they get no raffle winnings, it would take them 10 months to get to active elite status just by logging in every day. It would then take them a further 12 months to get withdrawals. So they're looking at 22 months, but they've done nothing other than log in every day, get into that good habit of patience and persistence, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel getting closer and closer and closer every day, and finally, in 22 months, starting to get withdrawal. Never ever having put their hand in the pocket, never having sold anything, never having referred anybody. This is a gift to those people to show them what is possible through persistence and patience. It's teaching them how to unlock the door of poverty and get out. It's a small beginning, but that $10 can be a huge boost to some people in some countries. $10 a month can mean an awful lot. And as that grows, and as they see this working, I'm sure that they'll get to the point where they'll want to tell others about it, help others. It's what we're about, helping others, and they'll get in. Some of them will pay the $100 to get the withdrawal straight away because it's a really good decision. It's far better than having $100 sat in a bank account where you, if you're really, really, really lucky, you might get 5% per annum, and inflation's at 10%. It means your bank account is losing value every year. You know, you start with $100, it's down to $95 in value at the end of the year, even though you've been getting 5%. And you won't get 5% from most banks, especially with just a $100 deposit. So they put in $100. Some of them will put in $100. It'll boost that person's withdrawals and it'll get them to those withdrawals faster. They have the option. It's not required. 22 months, they will start drawing cash from this plan, and their fund will continue to grow. They will continue to prosper, and they will have learned good habits. Good habits are what can unlock the door of poverty and allow them the path to freedom. Okay, let's get back to the app, and not to the app. Let's go first to Facebook. Rosemary John has a question. If I register 3 elite membership that stake 100, will it qualify me to withdraw more than $10 per month? Yeah, you can only have one membership yourself, Rose, but if you refer 3 people that become active elite members by paying the $100, it's not a stake, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. By paying the $100, you will receive $30 a month withdrawals, 3 times 10. If you pay $100 yourself, you'll get another $10, $40 a month. Okay? You can only pay that $100 yourself once. You can't pay $200 and get $20, but you can refer as many people as you like. Jedediah, so does it mean that as an elite member, I still have to deposit 100 before I will be able to make a withdrawal? No, I think I covered that. You can wait 12 months and we will build that fund for you to enable you to start withdrawings in 12 months' time. Linus, please, how do I get TRC20 wallet? I have downloaded Atomic Wallet. I couldn't figure it out how to get it done. If you, let me just check what you do. If you've got Atomic Wallet, at the top there is a search feature, I think. Yeah, there is a search feature. I'm in Atomic Wallet now. I'm not going to do a screen share, but at the top there is a search feature, and if you type in there Tether, Tether, it will bring up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different Tether options. And if you click on each one, it will show you what it is. And if it comes up with Tether US dollars with TRX after it, that is the one you want. Okay. Because there are lots of different tethers available nowadays. So you will see 6 of them, but it will be, there are 2 red ones. It'll be one of the red ones. One of them will come up and it will say OP at the end of it. Tether USD, then there's a little red square that will have OP in it. That's not the one you want. You want to go to the other red one, which when you click on it says Tether USD TRX. Okay, and that is the one you want. And when you got there, you click on a big button that says Receive, and that will give you your wallet address. So that's how you do it, Linus. We've got Werner in from South Africa. Hi there. And we've got Michael. So what about the secondary staking, Mr. G? Secondary staking is another passive income plan that we run. It's not connected to this, although you do need to be an active elite member to enter secondary staking. You may not have been when you got in it because we didn't have this as a qualification at the start. But now you must be an active elite member to join the secondary staking plan. You don't have to be qualified for withdrawals. You don't have to do that, but you have to be an active elite member. If you are an active elite member, you're likely going to be qualified for withdrawals. If you're new, if you're not new, then you may be in that waiting period for 12 months and you could join the secondary staking. But it's totally separate. And I know, Michael, you've got some payments due to you in there once you have your wallet in there. So once you've got your wallet in there, let me know and we'll get you paid. Jedediah says he's got it. Thank you. Good. And Linus says thanks. Good, good. Let's have a look at the app in Melon and we see if we've got any questions anywhere from people in YouTube or Twitch. Luis Montero is in from Portugal. Just saying hi. I'm scrolling down. Here we go. We've got Param Ramma from the UK. Okay. I would have guessed from Pakistan or somewhere, but he's actually from the UK saying greetings and wishes. Thank you and welcome to our little get together. I'm scrolling down. We've got Paul Greaves. Hi and best wishes from the UK, another UK member. We've got a question there. What will happen to the Visa token? I think that's on my questions list and I've not answered that. Thank you. I'll get back to that in a second. I'm scrolling down. We've got Joaquin Torres. The guy said he had 2K in there. What's happening with Fun Miracles? I'll get to that as well if you like. Okay, if he only had 2K in, he's going to get there a lot quicker, isn't he? It's just as simple as that. How do I determine how much I have in my account? I've been in for some 3 years. You just have a look at your dashboard. Have I got an account open anywhere? Just let me see. Yeah, your dashboard, when you log in, it's got my wallets. And if you look at your Visa Abundance wallet, current balance, it will show you what you have in there in tokens, and it will show you below that the US dollar value of those tokens. Okay? So it's on your dashboard. I will answer a couple of questions that have cropped up in there in a moment. So since I've already paid for the 6 pools and I'm viewing the site every day, I have to wait 12 months and then I'll start to withdrawing $10 a month without having to add any additional monies, right? Yeah, you can just wait your 12 months and we'll have built your personal liquidity fund up so that it will enable you to start your withdrawals. If you want to start them earlier than that, that's fine too. You can do that either by referring somebody that pays the $100 or by paying $100 yourself. If you want to wait, that's fine as well. Is there a cut-off date for the $100, or can we do this at any time in the future? It can be done at any time, Paul. Okay. I am also having Devyani add in the pools a payment option, which will say something like, forgotten the wording, but it will say something like activate PPIP withdrawals, and it will be just an option to pay $100, and it will just make life a bit easier. If you want to activate it now, what you have to do before that is there is you have to buy all 6 pools again. You can do that all in one go. You just click on them all to buy them all, and it'll add them all, and then you can pay that, and that will automatically qualify you until we get that other button there. And that's how you do it. I know it's a bit confusing because you're already in the pools and you think, well, what's happening? But that's it. But you can't qualify with paying from your available fund in there. You can't do that. We've got to have that cash available to build that liquidity pool for you. And we've got somebody, oh no, I've answered that. That was a Facebook. Okay, I think that's all the comments and questions there, but not all the answers for you. First of all, let me go through some of the questions. It says, one of the questions I've got is, how can we migrate the Wheat Abundance token to the Binance Smart Chain network, and when will it happen? It will be happening before the withdrawals go out in the very early days of September. I can't tell you exactly when, because I don't know. It will be as soon as possible. It is a bit of a learning curve for us because it's something that we've not done previously. It's a learning curve for Devyani. She's not worked on that side of the function before, but I understand that it's not a very complicated process once you know how it's done. So it shouldn't, in theory, take too long. Once we have that ability set up in our development, once we have the coding done for that, you will then be advised and you'll be able to link your wallet on the Binance Smart Chain into your Wheat Abundance account. And, and usually that happens automatically when you open your Wheat Abundance account. If you've got the one I'm familiar with is MetaMask, and that is one of the most common. If you've got MetaMask, it'll automatically open your MetaMask and it'll link the two together. And then you can move funds from the available funds that you have in MetaMask into Wheat Abundance or the other way around. The withdrawals will be 100% fully automated. You don't have to do anything for them. They will be automated. Okay, so it will be done as soon as possible, but I can't give you a date, but it will definitely be before the end of August. This will be for the Wheat Abundance token, not for the Visa token. The Visa token somebody was asking about. We are working on that currently. It's a different situation because of the amount of tokens that are out there on the exchange and the really low value it's dropped to. So we have to find ways of doing that. We're working on it. Currently, we're running lots of numbers and figures, but we won't be concentrating on it until we've got the Wheat Abundance transferred and everything working smoothly on that. Hopefully, that will all be working smoothly by the 2nd or 3rd of September. If there are any bugs, then we'll need to sort those out. but we'll get them sorted out fairly quickly, I think. So we will start working on the Visa token transfer and how we're going to do that, hopefully sometime towards the end of September. How long it will take us to get that done and all finished and finalized and sorted out how we're going to best do that, I don't know at this stage, but I will keep you informed once we get onto it. Second question was, does it mean that our coin will be listed on Binance, and will we no longer have to make use of the Waves exchange by using the Binance exchange mainly? No, it doesn't mean that it will be listed on Binance. It will be the Binance Smart Chain. Listing on Binance is unlikely to happen for some time, if ever. But I think it will happen in time because we will grow in stature as a currency, and we will have the main exchanges wanting our token on there. At the moment, we get people coming saying, "Oh, we can put your token on our exchange, and it'll only cost you $10,000 and this sort of thing." We're not interested in that. It will be on the Binance Smart Chain. It will mean that any wallets linked to the Binance Smart Chain, you will be able to see the coin there, but it won't be necessarily listed on any exchanges. Okay. It will mean that you can exchange it, even though it's not listed. I mean, for example, in MetaMask, you'll be able to click on your token and you get an option, buy, sell, and swap, I think, something like that. And you can click on swap and change it for Bitcoin or USDT or whatever you want. You can also buy and sell from there, I think, but I'm not sure. I'm not a crypto expert, I've got to confess, but I am learning more. But it will not be listed as such. You won't be able to go to Binance and search for our token and see it listed there. No. But any wallet that is linked to the Binance Smart Chain, you will be able to buy, sell, and swap it. What will happen to Visa token that was first created? Will it also be migrated to the BSC network? I think I've answered that, and the answer is yes, it will be migrated, and we'll be working on it from the time that we get the Visa Abundance token completed in that migration, and all smooth. We'll have learned an awful lot in that time, and we'll be able to put into place a plan to not only move the Visa token, but get its value stimulated and grown well beyond where it is now, which is a fraction of a cent. The first stage will be to get it up to a cent, 2 cents, 3 cents. It'll happen over time, hopefully not too long a time, but we'll get it. Our ambition is to get it as quickly as possible up to $2.50, $3. Okay. Another question. Talked about paying back or rewarding those who built nest eggs. Yeah, I think I've covered that on the nest eggs. That is from funds outside of the PPIP plan. Nest eggs will be secondary to the loans. Once we get this surplus income generated, we've got several things going on now that should start generating income that we can apply directly to the repayment of loans and to the redemption, the sale of nest eggs. It will, of course, all be balanced again to maintain that liquidity and value. So it'll mean as we generate the funds, it will be available for there. It won't affect the PPIP plan. They are totally separate things that we'll be doing there. Right. What other questions were there? One was about the Fun Miracle site. I have been covering that, and I said that with all this implementation, I've just not had the time to devote to it, and I apologise for that. We were very, 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 very close at one point to getting that contract placed and started, but um, we couldn't get total commitment um, into what we needed, which was to make sure that members and players in the games wouldn't be beaten by people using bots. And without doubt, it will attract people with bots because the value of winning 7 games in the run is over $30,000, and so people will go out and buy a bot for 1 or 2 thousand to compete in the games, and that wouldn't be fair on the members. So we have to find ways of outwitting the bots, which is not easy. Um, the bots learn through artificial intelligence as well. So there are ways that it can be done. But we have to find a developer that will commit to saying yes to everything that we need and not have intangibles floating around. If this happens, we're going to need more money. If that happens, we're not responsible. If that happens, it's not our fault. We can't have that because if we're paying out a lot of money to have this thing developed, we've got to have say, okay, this is what we're paying for. This is what we want. Um, and so that negotiation takes time. And I couldn't get it any further with the people that I wanted to place it with initially. We now have about, well, there's over 50 applicants, developers for games that are interested in developing our program, but we've got to find the right one. And once I get this out of the way and up and running and done, and we get the cash cow campaign running smoothly, I will be 100% on the Fun Miracles site. I'm sorry it's taken longer than we wanted. In fact, it's about a year today that we started with that. We registered the company for Fun Miracles, and I thought we'd have it up and running by sort of October. I'm hoping that we're going to have it up and running by October, November this year now, so it will be a year later. But it will take some time to develop it and get it all done. It is a complicated process. We want it right, and that is where we are with the Fun Miracles. Um, was there any other question? If I've missed something, then please type your question in again. Where are we? We've got Rosemary. How much did the new member have to put in to be able to withdraw $10 a month? It's $100. He's got to buy all 6 pools. A new member, there's no problem with because he's coming in fresh. He's not already in the pools. He'll need to get in the pools anyway. So he needs to buy all 6 pools. It's $100. That will start making him a minimum of $50 every 30 days, provided he logs in every day. And so to withdraw $10, he'll be building his wealth. And then he'll be able to add to that with raffle winnings and power of one bonuses if he chooses, and so on and so forth. Jedediah, Mr. Graham, I hope we will be listed on exchanges as time goes on, hopefully when we grow. It won't matter to you. Jedediah. As long as you can buy and sell your tokens when you choose, it doesn't matter if we're listed, but we will get listed. We will become a valuable crypto asset that people will want to have on their exchange. The exchanges make their money from a token that is being traded in volume. If you're doing $1,000 a month or something like that, they're not interested in you. You can get on exchanges, but you've got to pay the exchange to go on, or you've got to guarantee them a minimum return on listing. If you're doing $1 million a month, then they want you on the exchange because they're going to be making money every time somebody buys and sells that token. And if they're making 1% of $1,000, they don't want you. But if they're making 1% of $1 million, they do want you. We will be sought after by all the major exchanges as we grow. But it doesn't matter to you because you will, through your wallet, be able to buy and sell as and when you want at a good price quickly. Okay, Jedi answered that question from Rosemary. Excuse me, thank you. How about Christian? He knows about games. Christian doesn't know about games, actually. But I've not been in contact with Christian for some time. I'm not sure what he's doing now. He works for a betting company, and his forte is security in I think he works for 365 Win. No, yeah, 365 Win or something like. No, not that. Bet365. Bet365. I don't know. He works for some uh, betting organisation anyway, and his main forte is security because they can't afford to be hacked, and that's what his knowledge is. He's not a games developer, far from it. Okay, but even if he was, I've not really been in touch with him, and he is very busy. He got promoted, and he's got a family now, so he's not as available as he was. Games developers, that there are a lot of them, but it's getting the right one. We don't want when we have our game there, we want it to be nice. We want it to look good, be easy to play, and be free from bots. Richard, just a reminder to everyone, keep your seed phrases safe and disclose them to nobody. Plenty of scams about. Yes, indeed, Richard. Very good advice. Never ever tell anyone your seed phrase when you set up a wallet, no matter which wallet it is, no matter who asks you for it. A true admin of any wallet will never ever ask you for your seed phrase, and you should never give it to anybody. And you should keep it off your computer as well. You should write it out or print it out and then delete it from your computer and keep it somewhere safe and sound. It's the only way that you can recover your account if you get locked out or anything untoward happens. And there are some very, very clever scammers out there. Scamming and fraud is a huge industry globally. There was something actually I saw on the BBC website today, and I think they said it was 1.3 trillion last year in fraud, and that was just in the banking industry. That wasn't even online, and that was in the UK. Huge amount. I might be wrong on that figure. That's from memory. It might have been 1.3 million instead of trillion. Um, I honestly don't, or billion. I, I don't remember, but it was a big amount anyway. And that was just, as I say, in the banking industry, not um, not crypto and online frauds and all the rest of it. Okay, Mr. G, would you be automating the daily login in the future? No, that is what you need to do uh, to generate income, and it benefits every other member. You doing that. I'm not going into in detail how it does it, but it does. It increases the value of of our nation, and it benefits every member. No, we will not be automating the daily login in the future. You are there to log in and to read the messages, and that's the only two things we ask you to do. Um, and reading messages, well, I know a lot of people just click on them, open them, delete them, they don't read them. And we will, in time, find a way to stop that happening as well, because it's impolite, for one thing. If somebody says, hello, how are you? It would be impolite to just turn your back on them and walk away as though you'd not heard them. And it's the same when somebody takes the trouble to send you a message, you should read it. Now, it may or may not be of interest to you. The same as somebody talking about um, football to somebody that has no interest in sport. It wouldn't be of interest to them, but out of politeness, you may listen for a while and say, "Yeah, okay, thank you, but I'm really not into football." You know, you would be polite about it. You wouldn't just ignore them. You would, oh, no, no, I'm going. Maybe you would, and if you would, you should change your ways. Okay. Rosemary John, if I register a new member that's Stake 100, does that make me qualify to withdraw $10 a month? Yes, it does. Um, and there is another thing that, of course, you can do that with somebody as well. Perhaps you are a member, you are already an active elite member, but maybe your spouse isn't, or a friend, a good friend isn't. And you could say to him, look, I'll give you $50 towards you upgrading, and so it'll only cost you $50, and I'll put another $50 in. That'll give you $100. You can upgrade. You'll be getting $10 a month, and you'll be in the plan, and it'll increase every year. You'll be breaking even in 5 months, and then everything after that is profit. And of course, the same would apply to you. It's cost you $50, but it's qualified you as well. And you in 5 months would be in profit rather than 10 months. So that's another way of doing things. Okay. Oh yes, that is definitely. I can't see any more questions there. Let me just check in the app here again. And no, it looks like we've covered everything. We've gone on quite a long time today, but I hope that clears things up for everybody. And if you're watching the replay, I hope that clears things up for you as well. If you have any questions that weren't answered on the presentation or in the Q&A, put in a support ticket and it will get to me, and we will get you answered that way. Somebody's just said, any news from ROI tips? Um, no, I've not heard from them. I have asked them why they're still doing the warm-up campaign. I didn't have an answer by the time we started um, the broadcast today, but it will be starting any day. I don't know why it hasn't started, um, but I am still getting billed for warm-up, which is negligible, but um, it's a few dollars, not the thousands of dollars that we'll be spending on the campaign. Okay, that's it from me. So can somebody send me some info on this? I just stumbled onto this. Um, somebody there. Um, I suggest you watch the replay, um, and then somebody will be in touch with you. Okay, that's it from me. I will be here same time, same place tomorrow with a more normal uh, event. Won't go on for the same length of time that this one has. We usually finish in 30 or 40 minutes. But I'll be here same time, same place, 7 p.m. London time on YouTube, Twitch, and in our Facebook group. We share abundance publicly. Until then, God bless you all, and get out there, be Wisa warriors, share love and abundance, help people out, give them the free coupons that you have that will help them get started and make you money as well. And also understand now how powerful this program is, where anybody, anywhere in the world, can unlock the door to poverty. God bless you all, and I'll see you later, alligator. Oh, yeah, in a wild crocodile. See you later, alligator. Always wear a smile. See you later, alligator. Go the extra mile. See you